Hey guys, so we're going to talk about how to mod your CLS. I am joined by Fort Mort of the battalion. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about CLS. Now, CLS is a pretty famous team in the game as far as mods go because you can kind of do a lot of stuff, and a lot of people have their own opinion on what there is to do. There are some general key strategies that you want to play to at the very least, but there is definitely a lot of wiggle room. Would you agree?
Totally. They've got different characters. They're going to change how you do it. Like three PO and Chewie. I can't even say it right. Can change the way you mod him. So it depends on your team too.
So I'm just gonna tell you how I mod them. The answer to that is poorly because I'm lazy, and that's why I brought you on here because then I want you to tell me how you mod them, which will probably be a little bit better. So my CLS mods on CLS entirely, like actual CLS, are not great. I go offense and tenacity because Chupio spreads those buffs. Extra tenacity to help get my Chewbacca, who doesn't have great tenacity. He's at like 104 just to give him a little bit of extra so he doesn't get dazed, because once Chewbacca and 3PO and Chewie are dazed or stunned, the battle can kind of go downhill a little bit. But as far as the rest of the characters, I put damage on them and crit chance on Han. I don't know if he needs crit chance. He has a bunch. But like my Chewbacca should have more offense. He has crit damage. But I mod for high damage because I use this against gas. And when you go against gas, you kind of want to be able to kill the clones as fast as humanly possible. And you don't need to worry about potency because you get potency from spreading around or from C3PO. You don't got to worry about a lot of stuff. You just got to kill stuff fast. And that's why I mod them for high damage and stuff like that, because I specifically go against General Anakin Skywalker teams. How are your CLS team modded? How do you mod them? What teams do you use them against with those sets of mods?
I try not to use them. A lot of people seem to use them for bounty hunters, but it's complete overkill. So there are
hmm
so many good teams like Bad Batch that they can take out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had a cough. There are a lot of much better teams that you can take out. So I think you're wasting it on the bounty hunters. There's too many counters. As for CLS, the recommended mods, I mean, seriously, for me, I've got offense mods and defense
hmm
mods on mine, which you really theoretically should be making him survivability with potency. Health mods, crit damage mods are really good. Like you said, a lot of the teams like Chupio, Chewbacca, CLS, they all spread the buffs to each other, and they do nothing but support each other. So you got to be, you got to make sure you're taking care of that as well. Plus, you start talking about Chewie. If you get your CLS, if you want him with what's the buff they use? I'm brain farting here from Chewie. If his buff protects Han and one other character, depending on their health or protection, so
The
you may
guard.
not be able to, yeah, the guard. So you might not be able to protect the right guy that you want to. A lot of people like to protect Chupio. Some people like to do CLS.
hmm
So sometimes you have to work your mods around just alone on CLS, not the way you want it, just to make sure guard goes where you want it.
Exactly. That's a great point, and one of the main keys to this team. And I would say this is one of the most easily modded teams in the game, simply because they work so much on team composition, on synergy, more so than specific mods. Some teams require certain turn orders, your bounty hunters or your Imperial troopers, to really work effectively. This team is just so good synergy wise that's why there is that openness to how you mod the team. But one thing I personally try to do is I try to make sure that CLS gets guard by having the lowest amount of health and protection on the team,
I do
because
as
he
well.
can open up with that third ability to give himself that stance where he can go around taunt. So that'll call an assist. And then he gets another turn where I'll use the middle ability to remove taunt or to remove turn meter or whatever. And then they'll get more assists. And he just takes more turns. He's a pretty quick character. So that's where I like to place my guard. Some people like to throw it on 3PO and Chewie. Some people like to throw it wherever. Han gets it by himself automatically. But that's something you do have to take into consideration. Like, if you want it on your C3PO and you're not investing in if you want it on your CLS and you're not really investing in your C3PO, you got to still make sure that he's a little bit thicker than that CLS, who might have higher relics, because he's a better character. 2 relic, you don't get a lot out of relicking C3PO. But you do want to make sure that CLS is just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit weaker so you can get the guard if that is the strategy that you want to employ for your CLS team. Do you have any closing thoughts while we wrap up talking about specifically mods for the CLS team?
Yeah, first of all, do your mods on a daily basis. Your roster's going to suck. Second off, the CLS team, you really can't screw up the modding too bad because they're just so good anyway. But if
Mm-hmm.
you actually put in the effort and do a little bit of homework on it, you can make a team that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Well
with
said.
Chupio. Do not leave 3 Chupio alone. You've got to get that guy.
Oh yeah, dude, he absolutely ties the perfect little pretty Christmas bow onto this team. And that's why I love this team so much, because you can get them pre-level 85. They're a great starter team to teach you how synergy really works in this game. They're good from the very second you unlock them to the very end of the game. They're just a fantastic squad. Make sure you get them. Make sure you find the way to mod them that works best for you and what teams you use them to counter. And most importantly, as always, have a great day. And me and Fort Mort love you very much. Kisses on the forehead. Mwah, mwah.